It's not a phone if it's not an iPhone. Hello and welcome to mahindraguru.com, the Brahmas for Success, and today's special topic is what's new in iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. Let's see the two beauties first. Yes, they offer the colors rose gold, gold, silver, black, jet black in both the variants. In terms of the memory size, 32GB is the new variant in both the parts, iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. But the other part is that the jet black color is exclusively available in the 128GB and the 256GB models. In terms of the size and weight, perhaps iPhone 7 being a little shorter is lesser in weight in terms of 138 grams, but iPhone 7 Plus is much more in height, and perhaps the weight is at 188 grams. In terms of display, pretty similar. Retina HD display, multi-touch display with LED backlit screen. In the iPhone 7 Plus, we have a new variant that is the IPS technology. In terms of the images, the videos, the pixel per inch in iPhone 7 Plus is at 401, and in the iPhone 7, it is at 326 ppi. In terms of contrast, again, the iPhone 7 Plus is much better than the iPhone 7, but they are too costly. Now let's look at the external parts, at the external domain of the phone. In terms, it has a volume up and down. It has a ring and silent on this particular part. Then we have the immortal home, the immortal touch button. Now this particular button is now a capacitive button. It does not require a force to open that particular device. In terms of the new thing in this particular phone, we have for the first time built-in stereo speakers. Moving on, the iPhone 7 is priced at $599 and the iPhone 7 Plus at $719. As per the experts, the iPhone 7 model of the 32GB variant would be available at 60,000 rupees in India. Moving on, let's see what we have in the highlight section of the iPhone 7 Plus. The tagline, make a splash, takes a splash. Now it has a new black jet color. The splash and water resistance, this is a new part. Various naysayers were saying that this particular phone is not waterproof. They have tried to, they have tried to increase and also improve upon the water resistance. That is the new part, and the new home button that we discussed earlier. Moving on, the iPhone 7 camera, an entirely new camera enters the picture. It is a 12 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization. That is the new part. The face time of the HD camera is at a 7 megapixel and it is quad LED, and they've given the name True Tone Flash. So overall, what the seriously mean is that the camera is much better than the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6s variants. Moving forward, the iPhone 7 Plus camera has two cameras that shoot as one. Now this has single camera. This is the iPhone 6s, but let's see the difference. This particular camera has only single camera, but iPhone 7 Plus comes with two cameras that shoot for one. That has a 12 megapixel wide-angle telephoto camera with the optical zoom at 2 cross and a digital zoom up to 10 cross. So it's pretty awesome features for the iPhone 7, and this is a big difference from the iPhone 6s. Moving forward, again, the keyword Retina HD display. Now close to reality. What they've done is that they've tried to make it the brightest and the most colorful iPhone display yet. So if you compare the iPhone 6s, yes, there is a difference of the display in terms of this new Retina HD display, which according to Apple is 25% brighter and of course has a 3D touch. Moving forward, the iPhone 6s variants had the A9 processor. We have a new and the most powerful chip processor of the iPhone that has been named A10 Fusion chip, which according to Apple is 2 times faster than the iPhone 6 and is the longest battery life even in an iPhone. So in terms of the battery life, to all the people who are worried, and various people have the iPhone, they're worried about the battery life. Yes, according to Apple, that is two times more than that of the iPhone 6. Moving forward and looking in terms of the music scenario of the iPhone, it has a new stereo speaker system, and that is the first for the iPhone. And in terms of its authenticity, it is 2 times louder than the iPhone 6s. Perhaps that is to decide. And the most important part, it does not have a headphone jack, which we will discuss later in this particular segment. The earpods would come with a lightning connector, and so there would not be a charging or a port for the headphone. And they've introduced a rather costly AirPods that are wireless, that are cost around 7,000 for any Indian individual. Moving forward, in terms of the access to the data access, according to Apple, the Wi-Fi and the mobile data, that is the faster 4G, is faster and is perhaps the best in worldwide in terms of roaming. So the LTE, that is the long-term evolution, is better than before. According to Apple, in terms of the seamless transition, it would be at 450 Mbps, and perhaps that is 3 times faster than the iPhone 6. We've heard of a single bandwidth, multiple bandwidth, but this has up to 25 bandwidth in terms of the data access. The answers on the WhatsApp call and the other third-party calls would be far more easy. And according to the words of the Reliance CEO Mukesh Ambani, calling would be free and you would only call through the internet, and this is a very able example. In terms of the software, and it has been discussed in many reviews, that iOS 10 would be formally granted to the iPhone 7 users and the iPhone 7 Plus users. We had been using the alpha and the beta versions, but the iOS 10 would be enabled or would be embedded in these particular phones. So that is a thing to look up to. The AirPods, now these are rebuked and seen in awe in equal measure. So we have to just go through them practically to decide whether it is a good thing. Because remember, Apple was the first company to remove the floppies from the computers, and this is again a novel gesture. People are laughing, they're rebuking on Twitter, perhaps they're trying to mock this particular idea, but let's see what we have, because according to them it's wireless, effortless, and magical. In terms of accessories, these are the bold color. The jet black color is a special color that they've tried to provide. Then finally, what we are looking for, what is the difference between an iPhone 6s and an iPhone 7? You can see here that both have 4.7 inches and 5.5 inches 3D touch. In terms of the display, it's pretty similar. In terms of design, you can see here that the iPhone 6s is aluminum body with antenna bands on back, physical home key, touch ID, but iPhone 7, being a newer version, has a capacitive home key that stands out, because the iPhone 6s has a physical home key that requires a force to tap in, but in terms of the iPhone 7, it has a capacitive home key with a waterproofing. Storage, that is the critical part. 16 GB was the lowest variant, but in terms of iPhone 7, they've forgotten a 16 GB, and now they have the 32 GB, 128 GB, and the 256 GB new variants. Processor, as discussed earlier, A9 and 2 GB RAM for iPhone 6s, and A10 features processor and a 3 GB RAM for iPhone 7. The front camera is a big difference, 5 megapixel, and iPhone 7 has a 7 megapixel with the wide angle lens. The rear camera, that is where the real thing happens. 12 megapixel 4K video recording. Here we have a dual lens 12 megapixel in terms of the different variants, a telephoto and a wide angle for the I Plus model, and a 4K video recording, and the other things that are the new variants in the new features in the iPhone 7. Ports, and that is the lacking part. A headphone jack is enabled in the iPhone 6s, but there is no headphone jack in the iPhone 7 with a lightning port for the AirPods. With this, we come to an end. We hope you liked this particular video that discussed about the big thing in the technological world, in the mobile world, that is the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. You can buy this phone. Perhaps you have to sell your kidney for that particular thing, but yes, it is the biggest thing in this particular week. Thank you so much.